work her with the flag. She's been a little jumpy lately. I'm just going to look over here because last ride I worked in the round pin some, but I'm sure it blew away. But again, I want to kind of rock that boat anyways with the flag leaving, where she's kind of chasing the danger. So the danger's going away as she's coming forward. When I say chasing the danger. And we lost another wind ball. Oh, just a rock. Bad luck. And she doesn't seem too bad as long as it's kind of going away from her. And I know she's pretty sure that her owners worked her with the flag some on the ground. But again, no preconceived notions. So one thing I want to do in case she jumps around here, get lazy sometimes with working my horses, but if they jump around, I've got my head stall turned on here and I wouldn't want it to be dragging her step on it. Break something, so I always tie that up. And I'd like to start kind of coming from behind the shoulder rather than, I don't want to come in front and drive her back and kind of teach her to pull back. When I ask her to go, I'd like her to go. If I have to tap, I don't want her to over-respond. I wouldn't say over-respond, but then she might be worried about kind of getting hit by the flag. So I want to rub her on it. That lack of fear, I don't want her to be afraid of it there, but I want her to respect it. When I change hands, I want her to yield and step that hindquarters away, there. And then the front. So she, again, we've worked her a few times. If you've been to the channel, you'll know she has a hard time kind of reaching back far enough to cross over that first step. She kind of wants to cross behind. And so, again, there. So we get a little energy in there and carry it across. Then we pet her. We had to kind of be firm with the flag. She didn't overreact. And if I have to tap her with the flag when I'm on her back, I don't want her afraid of the flag. Good. We'll take the hind, yield, come through. That time she walked off. So we'll go back the other way. Good. She found a place to get stopped. She wasn't quite expecting me to come through there. And it's not, sometimes if you're not willing to come through, and you're kind of just being a bully, threatening to hit her. I'm saying if you don't come through with some energy, I'm going to tap you there. And it's your job to kind of get out of the way of that flag. I'm fair when it comes, but if she's gone before the flag gets there, it's never going to touch her. I want her to learn to not get hit. It's not that I'm trying not to hit her. I want her to learn to not get hit. Keep turning. Okay? Don't walk off there. And again, any piece of this groundwork after I bring the front, if I'm not happy with the step, I'd rather work on that step. There we go. Good. And get that a little better. And we'll pet her. I don't want her afraid. I'm going to drive her a little sideways so she can round and get a little more collected there. So she kind of lands 2-footed at a time, and I want her to land 1-2. So I'm going to work on that again. Forward. Don't anticipate. Don't anticipate. Don't anticipate. Now come through. There. 1-2. Didn't have as much life, but it had a little more flow. And then we pet. Again, make sure she's not afraid of it. Good. Now in here she could strike it, so I'm aware, but I'm pretty confident she won't. And we'll put a head stall on her and see if we can. How she does with it on her back. And again, we're just exposing, and it's always good. My friend used to say, I hate groundwork, it wears my shoes out. But I gotta do enough groundwork to stay safe. So I can always check them out from the ground there, knowing that they're at least safe from there. And then if I get bucked off, maybe I'll figure I should have done more. But I want to have a pretty good idea. But I know the horse pretty decent. And roped off her a little bit. And yeah, sometimes we probably need to do a video on that too, because every once in a while she will get worried about dragging the rope up too. So that'd be another one we could maybe try to get done. Want her to put her head down, get soft. Tall horses, if they can't do that, kind of stay down, not in a hurry to bridle them, even though she's good. I still want her to be soft. I want it to be convenient. I run that right ear straight forward, the left. Try not to wad them up and cram them in there. Kind of caught the tip of that ear just a little more than I would like. So we kind of check that ear out, make sure she's not bothered by it. Just an accident. But accidents happen. I'll check my cinch. Oh, I already had a flag out here. Three times I've tried to do one where I rode her with the flag. Oh, the speaker wouldn't work, or the camera would overheat, or I would forget the flag. Now I have two flags. California has 6 flags, I have 2. Hope some of you are laughing. Good jokes. Gotta have a sense of humor when you ride or missing out. Oh, it's good. My dogs are playing soccer. That might kind of distract her a little bit. So I'll move her up just a little bit. Just kind of check her out and get her soft. Check her hindquarters. I'm not trying to pull here, but she's a little pushy, so I had to pick up a little bit. She was too far forward, so she'd run into that right rein, but I'm not pulling here because I want her to be soft. If she walked kind of too forward, I'll see if I can get her forward. Then I'd start pulling on that because she left the rectangle, and I want her to learn that there's softness when she's in the middle of the rectangle, that there's peace there. But if she goes too far this way, see, I'm going to open up that rein, and now it's floating, and now it's picking up. See, now she's too far out that way. I'm just riding her around here. I want her to step forward off my right rein. She should step this right front foot on this open door. If it goes more forward, she should step more forward. I want her finding the open door. Riding, trust in me, and I'll make her pass straight. In my life, just like that and trust in the Lord. She can get up there and not be worried about that sitting there. She doesn't have to step up on top of it. But I'm not going to let her refuse off my leg, because then she's going to learn that she's in control. Kind of some of the jumping around she does on you. Nobody backed you up. So you got to be timely on that before she leaves. What if that's a rock or something out in the field? She can step up over a rock or a piece of bush. Now, if I had to lean over, I kind of hooked my arm on the horn here, so that if she did have to jump, I'd have a shot at going with her, but not leaning too far over. But just a good safety thing. Now I'm going to leg you towards this halter on the ground, so that she pays attention to my leg and not the halter. So many valuable lessons that I see people making mistakes on. Kind of why I did this YouTube channel and don't edit a lot out, unless it's just, well, even for sound and stuff a lot of times. Usually it's malfunction of the camera or something. So I'm just going to kind of hit this like a polo mallet here and swing it, and she's kind of jumpy with it. So that'd be my first goal. And when I fix and release here, I want her to stay soft. She kind of snaps back. So I'm just going to keep fixing and releasing on my circle there till she can stay soft there a little bit. And then I'll switch sides. And again, I want her round. She kind of squirts out there just a little bit. If I had to, I could just drop this flag if some of you got in trouble. Or I could get it up here kind of where it's out of view. But if it's got a little wind like today, sometimes that flapping may bother them. So I'd rather set that up kind of on my terms. And flap it in the wind before it flaps in the wind. Some real scared horses, you might have to tie that flag there. She got a little better. In a bit of a knot first. Fix and release. Get soft. There you go. Fix and release. Fix and release. She's less worried about it. There we go. Finally, she got a little softer on that rein. We'll see this right side again. And I'd want her good and not kind of jumpy with it before I ever drove her from it. Because main thing is getting them gentle, especially when you're riding for other clients like this. You don't want to get them so fired up. You can get it to chasing them with the flag. And some horses that are scared really get to having to move, but I want them gentle for people. I don't want them dull either. Now when I go to start working on the hindquarters, I'm going to have the flag in my off hand here. I get short on just my left rein, and I'll ride that hind, and if I needed to drive her, I would. I want her to just stay forward there. Good. And when that flag crossed over, I want her to reach back a little more there, and then I'll give her a little release, ride out in my left circle. Good. I might change flexion. Make sure she's not jumpy on it. I just drove her from it, so sometimes she might think she needs to yield from it. We'll change hands. Cross my reins over. Open to the outside. She steps her hind pretty nice. In her front. But again, I want her to just pick up the energy a little bit there. And then we'll ride her forward out of it. I don't want to just have her stuck there. I want to have some energy, especially because she was landing with that little hop 2 steps sometimes. And sometimes people get in the habit of releasing so much that the horse just quits there after they do the front quarters. And I want them to kind of roll out and walk on there. behind. Good. Then the front. And then walk on out of that. Don't get stuck. Good. So all we need is that little try in there. And that's plenty. Do a little bit every day and try to get that foot reaching. You're not trying to... Rome wasn't built in a day. And like the fellow once said, I wasn't performing there either. But anything worth building is worth taking some time and building that foundation again. I'll constantly check this flag out. I hope we get to do another video before she goes home. But if not, again, get a little change. And if you can just get them 1% better every day, after 100 days, you should be about at 100%. But sometimes we ask for too much. But sometimes that's fine, as long as we ask for 1% of everything better, because you do a little something, and then there's always the yin and the yang. So I do a bunch of her turning around, and then she might get a little afraid of it. So, and then I might get her kind of crossing over better and doing that step, and she may get to playing defense on a cutting flag or something and get a little too far back again. But if I had to pick my choice, I would pick too far back. But I don't want them landing with that hop where they're stuck, because then even if they turn with the cow, they're not prepared to turn back, and they're not prepared to track that cow on. And then, yeah, don't make things too hard, too difficult for your horse that they get hard. Try to quit them a winner. Try to quit them wanting to do it. I want them to want that flag. When the flies are out, sometimes she gets her head shaky. It's a great time to, if you've done your groundwork and checked them out on the ground, to kind of clear some of those flies out there. Just get them used to it. As my friend Ray said, confidence is knowing that you're prepared for the unthinkable. And a lot of times people aren't prepared for the unthinkable. Even when I'm just sitting here and my reins are loose, I kind of got a little bit of the horn there in case she jumped, or I might be here. In case she jumped, I could go with her. I'm not forcing and bracing on it, but I'm prepared. Even though I know she's probably going to be pretty good. Those little habits like that will go a long ways to help you out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Like I said, when I was riding, sometimes if they're afraid of the flag, we do carry some flags, but you could kind of knot it up where it's not so big. Sometimes I might put a couple knots in it there in case they fall out. Kind of halfway doing it, but just a couple little half hitches in there. Now it doesn't flop around so much for some horses, and then gradually take one knot out at a time. Anyways, I try to answer as many questions as you guys might have in this, but I really do appreciate the comments and the questions and all that tremendously. Most of all, I thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, maybe click that like and subscribe button. Hope to catch you on the next one. And when you comment, it gives me a chance to see and look at your channel too. So, appreciate you watching. Enjoy the journey.